Feel free to start off nice and comfortable. Today, as we're getting started, what I'd like you to do, as we're already just initially connecting with our intention, is create two fists and then walk the fists under your kidneys. So kind of walk them all the way underneath. And then when you've got that resting there, notice how any inhale you take, it's like the kidneys and the low back are getting a little bit of massage directly into your fists. And then the exhale is just a nice release. So from this very easeful beginning spot, we'll start to connect with our intention. The intention this week is all about releasing, all about letting go. As it's getting close to Halloween and Dia de los Muertos, it's getting to that time of year where we remember that there is a connection when we kind of let go of everything that this life necessarily has to be, all that we define it. And even the leaves teach us that simple lesson of how beautiful it can be to release, to let go. So as we're here for a few extra breaths, breathing into our kidneys, we're going to start thinking of something in our life that we're willing to release. And that something will rest in the back of our minds as we travel through class today, so that ultimately the intention is to let go. To let it go just as easily as a tree lets go of its leaves. This could be a food that you eat. You know that your body doesn't agree with it. You know you should do better, and so maybe it's a food. Maybe it's getting rid of physical things, trying to declutter. Maybe it's more of a habit. But whatever it is that you're trying to release, make that as our intention as we travel through class today. Through this practice, I will release. And you'll notice that much of our practice today is focused around the kidneys, as well as the kidney meridian. Kidney meridian starts at the big toe. It traces up the inseam of the legs, the calf and the inner thigh, and then it travels up the spine to about the heart area. And so we'll also be working through stretching through the meridian, helping to support the kidneys in that energetic way. So let's take two more breaths here, breathing into the fists of the kidneys. After that second breath, begin to free out the hands. When we take our knees into the chest here, we're going to be heading for just a moment, not a full 3 minutes, but just a little while with happy baby pose, specifically so that we can rock around on the low back, getting into the kidney area, massaging through that low back area. So the shape of the legs doesn't have to be exact. It's more or less just grabbing onto something to allow us to rock left and right, back and forth. And I'll take that rocking motion another 3 times to each side. And after that third set, release the hands. The knees are together, and the knees are going to start taking a twist all the way over to the left side. We'll have options in a little while to help evolve this pose, but for now, stay in a simple twist and perhaps use your free right hand, either the fist or just the thumb, to massage into the right kidney. Do whatever feels natural. I personally am doing kind of a circular motion, but anything else that works to help encourage our connection to the kidneys. Give that area the kindness it deserves. As this is already feeling really nice, you are absolutely welcome to just stay in this pose the rest of the time that we're here. Otherwise, you can start evolving it into cat chasing its tail pose. The top leg can stay bent, or top leg starts to straighten out to this side. If it's going straighter, perhaps the left hand slides up the back side of that leg. This again could be exactly where you pause, or right hand grabs the bottom toes behind your back, setting up for the quad stretch. So if you took this pose, still imagine that you're breathing into the kidneys. And imagine tracing the meridian mentally. The big toes are definitely in a deep shape. The legs up the inseam, each of them doing their own things. And the spine, as the meridian travels up the back, is definitely opening. So breathing into the shape. Imagine that we're supporting the kidneys. The kidneys are one of those last steps to filter the urine. The urine travels to the bladder, and then it exits. So the kidney, one of those last steps, preparing the body for elimination. Take 3 more breaths for this side. After all 3, you can gently release whatever pose we just took. Start to return the hips to the back. And once again, we'll do rocking. This could either be from happy baby or even just from hands on the knees, letting the hips rock left and right. Getting that low back into a very gentle, easeful position. And then at some point, you'll naturally feel ready to take the twist to the second side. So knees will start to fall over to the right. For the first moment here, perhaps the left thumb or left fist is giving the left kidney a little massage. So rub along that low back. from this point, if you'd like to simply stay here, continuing this rubbing, that's great. If you'd like to head toward the cat chasing its tail, you can take any or all of these options, straightening the top leg, grabbing the bottom foot with our left hand behind our back. Imagine in your mind's eye tracing the meridian line. Up the big toe, up the inseam, up the back. And with that awareness of the meridian line, imagine that you could flip on a light switch and suddenly you could easily visualize exactly where the meridian is. So as we continue to travel through the class, you've already got that light of awareness of what wants to open here. Enjoy 3 more breaths to this side. When we finish the 3rd breath, gently hips return to the ground. Either the happy baby or the hand on each knee to once again rock on the low back. When that starts to feel happy, we'll make our way up toward a seated place. So perhaps just rocking directly up. From here, release the left leg for a moment. We're going to cradle out the right shin. So perhaps you're grabbing on to, just with the hands, perhaps you're able to do a full clasp. Posture's trying to lift upright, and then let's rock this hip out for a moment. Encouraging the hip to open. That starts to feel looser. We'll plant the left foot, resting this right ankle on the left side. And from here, we've got some options. We can lean back. We can gently push the right hand into the knee. We could continue to slide the left foot in, increasing the steepness, deepening the angle. There's lots of things we could play around here, even rising up, hugging around. So just continue to play, finding the best position for your body. And think of this not just as the right hip opening, but also this whole meridian traveling all the way up. Imagine this is a chance to get directly into that spot. At any point the hands get tired and you prefer to switch exactly how you're focusing on that. Don't feel any pressure that you have to stay in exactly the same pose. You've got some freedom here. And then we'll help this pose evolve even further by sliding the left leg straight, continuing to cross this right knee until the right knee eventually stacks, if possible, on top of the other knee. Lift the posture up, and then with the hands, gently ease your way forward. Here, continue to evolve this pose by taking the right ankle open, so the thigh is free. This left leg slides a bit wider. And then we drop the hands down to the ground immediately in front of us. So the connection to that inseam starting to deepen, working a bit more through the inner thigh. One last little step here before we switch sides. Walk the hands further and further over toward that straight left leg. You'll start to notice the muscles of the low back pulling, especially on that right side. So imagine that we're helping to get deep into that right kidney once again. One more deep inhale. Exhale, ease your way up. Let this left foot come in. And for just a moment, take thumbs on the kidneys or fists on the kidneys and allow yourself to take a gentle heart opener. Thumbs or fists pushing directly into it, the heart opening as much as it's capable of from this position. One more inhale. And exhale, begin to cradle out this left shin. The other leg can be long, it can be bent, whatever's working at this moment. Posture's trying to go tall. Let's take a few rounds of rocking this left hip out. This is helping to prepare it for the poses to come. Perhaps one more breath here. And the right foot plants so that we can rest the ankle on the thigh. And this is that section where you get to play with any of those options. Perhaps taking some time here. Perhaps sliding in. Maybe a hug if that doesn't throw your balance off. We got a few minutes to be in this spot. So especially this left ankle that's up. Imagine that meridian lit up. Imagine each breath you take is helping to light that area up even more as it's in this nice gentle stretch. Inhale. And exhale, this leg starts to slide back out long. We try to keep this left knee crossing over and then begin to let the spine relax back up and over. Allow the left foot to open up. Right leg slides wider. Once we're here, the hands come directly forward at first. Imagine you're still breathing into the kidneys. Lastly, starting to walk the hands closer to the straight leg. Feel the intensity on the left kidney, that left part of the low back. And try to breathe into it, perhaps creating almost like a mantra with every single breath. I release whatever it is that you're releasing today. Repeating that with each subsequent cycle. Another good breath in. Another time to state it. I release whatever it is. And then this time as we rise up, we're going to slide the bottoms of both feet together. As we head to cobbler's pose, again, feel that area, that inseam, and even the back lit up all the way. You're welcome to start releasing your spine all the way forward. And perhaps, if this feels helpful, perhaps you have your thumbs massaging your big toes, the very end of that meridian. You can stay here for all or part of the time here. You also could gradually inch your thumbs up that meridian, all the way up to the ankle, to the inner parts of the calves, and even up the inner thigh. If that feels like that would be helpful to you, that is absolutely a beautiful journey to begin here. Any spots that feel particularly tight or vulnerable, spend some extra time right in that spot. Three more breaths here. If you're doing the massage, perhaps find one of those spots along this meridian that wants that slightest bit more effort. And a slow journey to help the spine rise. We can swing our legs underneath us. Coming into a toe stretch, we tuck the toes, trying to even include the pinky toes if possible. And then we come to sit back toward the feet. If we leave our hands on the floor, this makes it slightly less intense. Deeper intensity would be rising all the way upright. So just choose the amount that you can handle. You can't take this for a full 5 minutes. That would be way too intense for the feet. But let's see if we can do about 2 minutes. If ever it's too intense, slide your way back forward again. Full breaths for 3 more cycles. For the 3, we can come forward to either roll the feet out or gently, gently pound them out. I'm going until the feet feel like they're doing okay again. And when we get to that spot sooner or later, we'll go to a dangling shape. So we start to lift the knees up and walk yourself back until you're in a nice dangling place. You can keep the feet hip distance, or you can go any amount wider if you wish. Maybe as wide as the mat, maybe even further, personal preference. Perhaps hands start off in the elbow creases. And maybe you rock around on the feet just a little bit to feel how the toes are recovering from their stretch. You'd like to take any or all of the rest of the time with hands on the kidneys, either as an energetic placement to send love and warmth, or as knuckles to rub up and down that area. That could be a very kind, very gentle way to continuously massage the kidneys. The hands get tired at all, just drop them back down, no pressure. Take our last 3 breaths here. After that 3rd breath, we'll bring our feet to about mat distance to prepare for our malasana, our yogic squat. And so as we start to sit down, make sure the feet are comfortable. They're at that perfect placement, not too much, not too little. Elbows pushing into the inseam of the leg. Spine trying to straighten up. Let me take a little bit of time from this spot. 3 more deep breaths. Imagining you can breathe all the way to the kidneys. For that third breath, the hands can drop forward and we continue to lower ourselves down onto the belly. We prepare for any type of a back bend, specifically paying attention to how the low back and the kidneys feel as they're receiving the back bend. So this could be anything from Sphinx to Seal, or even walking hands in deeper if the back says that that's fine. Feel that low back especially receiving this stretch. And imagine we're including up to the very end of that kidney meridian. The heart arching and receiving it. More breaths, trying to breathe into the kidneys. And then as we take a moment, heading back toward child pose, you can either give the kidneys another massage with thumbs or fists, or you can take the fists together, placing them at the belly. We head into the child's pose from there. With this one, you imagine with each breath you take, it's increasing that intra-abdominal cavity pressure so that the kidney gets just the slightest bit of massage from the inside section. So keep on taking belly breaths as deep as possible. from here, take 3 more of those deep belly breaths. We release. We'll find ourselves returning down onto our backs. And just take a simple moment with one last twist to each side. We'll take the right knee into the chest. And as we start to introduce this right knee into just a couple of breaths with a twist, think of wringing your kidneys out, giving it one last chance to squeeze out and release from whatever it is that we consciously chose today. Your breath is helping that wringing process. One more cycle in and out. Return this right leg down. Left knee in for the same simple twist. Our last chance to squeeze it out. Let it go. We no longer have to have that thing be a part of us. That's the interesting thing about life, is we can't cling to everything. At some point, sooner or later, we have to find a release. So why not today? Why not now? One more good inhale. The last exhale, wringing the last drop out. Then as we return to Shavasana, choose any Shavasana that feels good in the body right now. And either visualize breathing into your kidneys for that support through Shavasana, or visualize your exhale letting you release even more freely. We've got several minutes. Just keep the breath flowing in and out. Begin to deepen inhales and exhales. Little movements returning back to the body, fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing. Eventually taking a nice fetal position off to the other side. Enjoying a couple of good deep breaths. Until eventually we're ready to rise up comfortably. And as our hands join together in front of the heart, it's an assurance. I can and I am letting go. I release whatever it is I chose today. Just as the trees lose their leaves with ease, I can let go. So with this release to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.